host of the Gridiron.
Anybody remember this guy? Huh? How about this guy? Huh? How about that Jalin Hyatt? Huh? Well, he was doing some talking. He said he mentioned a couple things here. One, he needs to focus on being better in 2025, and he wants to move around more in 2025 as well. So now the interesting thing is, what do the, because this stuff we don't know. We don't know. We can start maybe taking the pieces of the puzzle and putting them together, right? If the Giants draft a wide receiver, say maybe in the third round, or if they go out and get a wide receiver in free agency, right? Something like that. I'll kind of let you know, right, what they think of Jalin Hyatt. Or if they open up their and do a little bit of spending and bring back maybe Slayton, that'll let you know what they do with Hyatt, okay? But the thing is that, he could not beat Slayton now. Just right. So we had Slayton, we had Malik, and we had Wan'Dale, right? And Hyatt had a hard time seeing the field. He was on the field like half as many snaps as he did the year before. 2023, 557. Okay, a little bit more than half. 557 his rookie season. 344 this past season. Now, of course, a lot of that's got to do with Malik, right? Malik and Wan'Dale had over 300 targets between the two of them. They had 202 receptions between the two of them, right? Obviously, between all the targets going to those guys and those receptions and all that, obviously Slayton's numbers came down too. Not only Slayton's numbers come down, but obviously Hyatt. He had, was it 8 catches? I think it said. Yeah, he had 8 catches. He had 19 targets. In his rookie season, he had 40 targets. Still no. We traded up to get this guy in the third round, right? And, well, why did we trade up to get the guy if the guy can't run routes or he can't make the start? And what's going on there, right? But he had 23 receptions his rookie season, but he had 40 targets. This past season, he only had 19 targets all season long. It took him, seemed the longest time to catch his first pass. He had eight catches. And the thing was, too, last year, his rookie season, 16.2 yards of reception. That's what you think with him. This past season, 7.8 yards of reception. 7.8. He 8 balls for 62 yards. His rookie season, he caught 3 times as many passes, 23. He had 8 receptions this past season. Now, once again, he couldn't beat out Slayton, right? Slayton is just about as fast, but he's a better route runner, right? Malik Neighbors, right? And then, of course, Malik, the man's on the field, right? And Wan'Dale, right? The thing was also, too, was that we were for the most part, relatively healthy on the wide receivers. Now, we've had times in the past where we've just been totally decimated at the wide receiver position, right? This year was not so much that. Malik missed a couple games, but Slayton was relatively healthy. Wan'Dale was relatively healthy. Malik was relatively, I said he had the concussion, missed a couple games, but for the most part, we were relatively healthy. So the best players week in and week out were on the field, and apparently Jalin Hyatt is just not one of them, I guess. And he's got to start working on some of his craft. But at least he seems like he's saying the right stuff still. So that's huge. That's huge. You don't want to hear any sour apples or anything like that or whatever, right? But Jalin Hyatt is focused on being better in 2025. Heading into his third season, Hyatt still believes the Giants can get things fixed. Giants 2024 season was a brutal one from start to finish. Fans looking for a glimmer of hope set their sights on securing the number 1 overall pick in the draft, but the Giants pulled off a Week 17 win, pushing them out of the top draft spot. Hyatt, who joined the Jake Asman Show ahead of the Super Bowl, was honest about the struggles of the past season. Hyatt acknowledged that fans were upset about the loss of the top draft pick, but he made it clear that players aren't focused on the draft order. I understand what they're mad about, Hyatt said. Obviously, you want to have the first or second pick so you can choose who you want. But the problem is we're in the league. We never go out there and try to lose games. We get paid. Not only that, we're all trying to win. That sentiment is a reminder that professional athletes, no matter how tough a season is, are still focused on doing the job to the best of their ability. And that's one thing you can certainly say. You can certainly tip your cap to a lot of. Maybe some guys might, some small percentage might mail it in a little bit. But for the most part, you tip your cap to these guys. These guys go out there and they play hard every week. Right? What's so hard about it is when you're losing so many games, you don't want to lose again, he continued. The feeling is not a good feeling. It's tough going to that next week. Hyatt praised Barkley and admitted he is rooting for him. After a disappointing season in which he caught just 8 passes, Hyatt is determined to improve. One thing that he emphasized was his desire for more versatility in his role. I want to be moved around more, Hyatt said, reflecting on his experiences in college where he was frequently shifted around to different positions on the field. Just keep me on the outside, but also let me move around, he explained. When I feel like I'm moving around, I feel more confident. Hyatt admitted, though, that he has got to be more consistent in his play. I still have a lot of faith in my team, he said. I really believe that we have great players and we're going to get better. We're all trying to win. Let's see. What we got here? Ever since the Giants moved up in the 3rd round to snare Hyatt from Tennessee, they had struggled to find a place for him in their offense. I don't know. It's like, why do you go out and draft these guys? And it just, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's not that. Yeah, it's a lot more than just that. But I mean, it's like you trade up to get the guy, and you can't find anywhere to put him. I mean, do you think about this before we draft him? I mean, we draft him. Yeah, can't use him. What? Hyatt, despite dressing for 33 of the Giants' 34 games the past 2 years, has only caught 31 of 59 targets for 435 yards and no touchdowns. This is a form from a player who once scored 5 touchdowns in a college game against Alabama. Hyatt's production waned in 2024 after the Giants added Malik Neighbors in the 1st round of the draft. Hyatt started just 3 games, catching a measly 8 passes for 62 yards while playing on 20.7% of the offensive snaps. Hyatt was the subject of trade rumors during the season, but both he and the Giants denied those reports. This offseason, Hyatt is talking about what he can do to fit in with the Giants. In a recent interview, Hyatt suggested the Giants use him like he was used in college. I want to be moved around. Just keep me on the outside, but also let me move around. So, I mean, that's huge too, right? You know, the confidence is huge. Hyatt believes he has to be more consistent in his play, a contention held by many of his critics. Hyatt has work to do if he has to break through with the Giants. Neighbors is a budding superstar, and Wando Robinson has become a very reliable option in the short passing game. Giants may also be interested in bringing back Darius Slayton back in free agency if the price is right. Well, I mean, I don't think the price is right. Hopefully Darius goes out there and gets what he's deserved, because he's hung around this organization taking minimal amount of money. The past 2 years he's been at like a little over $6 million. I think PFF has Slayton with I forgot what it was, but it was well over $10 million a year. $10 to $15 million a year he might get from a team. That's according to PFF. That's what they're coming up with, right? But it's going to be a lot more than the $6 million the Giants were for 6.25, whatever the Giants were paying in the past 2 years. So wherever he goes, I hope he gets a truckload of money. right? Quality, good teammate and all that and everything. The thing is just that, you get them. As long as Wandale and Malik are healthy, as long as they're healthy, they're going to get a good lion's share, right, of the targets. Now, something we can't forget too, right, is that Theo Johnson was getting his targets and his receptions were going up. Unfortunately, he had caught 4 or 5 balls one game. I think he had 29 receptions. But of course, and then he got injured and the season was over. But in the beginning, Theo Johnson, I think after the first 4 games, I think he had like 1 reception. I was like, I didn't even think we had tight ends on the field the first few games. I'm like, do we have tight ends? Or we just have like a 6-man? Maybe we have 3 tackles out there and 2 guards in the center? Is that what's going on? What do we have tight ends or what's up? Well, once they apparently, got maybe more familiar with the offense or more confident, whatever, our quarterback carousel started finding them. And I think he had 29 receptions, which is not too bad. If he played all 17 games, he was on pace for maybe 40 to 45 receptions, which is not bad for his rookie season, right? Hopefully he keeps getting better. Unlike, I don't know what's going on with Daniel Bellinger, but Daniel Bellinger was, seemed to be kind of a budding kind of star, right, in his rookie season. And then we got Waller, and it kind of started going down. And it just past couple seasons, it's like, what's going on with Daniel Bellinger, right? But with Theo Johnson, Wandale Robinson, and Malik Neighbors, they're going to get a good portion of the targets. If we ever get I would love it if somewhere along the line we had a receiving threat, good mismatch receiving threat of a tight end and Waller, but of course he got injured and then he got retired. Then he retired. So, but if we ever were to somehow get a good receiving threat of a tight end, man, you put Theo one side, but receive it. Yeah, I mean. That would be nice, but be interesting to see what they do with Hyatt. But one thing is, if they do bring back, like say they bring back Slayton, I'll tell you all you need to know what they think about Jalin Hyatt. Because if they got Wandale, they got Malik, and they bring Slayton back, Hyatt's number 4, right? Well, if they go out and they're not bringing in T. Higgins, but they go out and bring in a good wide receiver in free agency, or if they draft a wide receiver, say in the 2nd or 3rd round, right? That tells you all that they think about Jalin Hyatt. So, that might be one of the swings and misses that Shane made in his drafts. So, it is what it is. The thing is that obviously they traded a 3rd and 5th round pick to go get him, and it's like oh, now we really can't use the guy. Yeah, my bad. Oh man, stuff makes me laugh.